Hi everyone, again Andre here at AVF and TriLife Plus. This is your third rotation into our second phase of our build and strengthening a little bit of that knee without putting that big pressure on the knee as we talked about in the last two videos. Okay, so let's get right in it. Very basic, you should all know these ones here again. So your first one is your leg swing. I like to have a little bit of support. I'm a little further away from the wall I was expecting to not be that far, but we'll give it a rest. So a go. So your first one is your leg swing. So when you're doing your leg swing, you want to make sure, again, the body's not rocking. You're nice and stable, nice and tall, and you're pushing out. And then when you kick out, you're using that lateral, that posterior chain, feeling through the hamstring, maybe the calves, maybe you feel it through the calves. But I never want you to feel it into that lower back, okay? So I want to make sure that you're getting in through the legs. And then through that pendulum swing back, you're getting that knee bend and extending a little bit of that quad and bringing the leg in, right? So you're coming in and just leg swing like that, right? Nice pendulum swing. You get that nice hip flexor move over. And then again, turning over, just doing the other side. And you can have a little bit of an elevated foot so you're not knocking your foot on the ground too. You can use that as well, okay? So now your second one is your standing donkey kick. This one here, it takes a little bit of time to master and really try to isolate. So if you have a mirror, even better, right? So again, you're gonna come up. So knee bend at 90 degrees. You're gonna push out, okay? And then you're gonna kick back. So really feeling that glute fire up for you, okay? So right back down, out, and then out. So don't be shy, use your hand. Try to make sure you're activated, feel that you're nice and on, okay? So I'll give you that back view here. So you're pushing out, right? And then in. So when you're pushing out, you want to make sure you're not rocking out to the side, right? So you're pushing out, and then you're kicking back, really feeling that glute fire up for you, okay? And right back down. And again, you are doing the other side. So, shoulder press. I prefer you do this standing, okay? If you feel there's some vulnerability when you're standing, again, do this seated. Okay, so when you're doing it seated, make sure you're nice and stable, your feet are flat on the ground, and core is nice and solid. And when you're doing your press, you're going all the way up, full extension from here, right back up, right? Keeping the wrist right above the elbows, not coming in tight or not coming in wide. You're coming into a press, okay? So right back up, good press, just like that, okay? Beautiful, that's it. Nice, what's the next one? Skull crushers. Beautiful. Right back down, use the bench, or you could be on the ground, right? Right back down, keeping the 90 degrees, going right past your head, and then right back up. Down, and right back up. If you want a little bit more, again, getting your core to isolate and core work a little bit more at the same time. Who doesn't like a little bit more core at the same time as they're working, right? Just like that. Right back up, down, and up. Beautiful. Okay, next one, push-ups. Again, for those of you who are not on the ground yet, use a wall, use your squat rack, bringing that bar a little bit lower. You can use stairs, right, to increase and get your progression to come down, okay? For the rest of you, again, you can either do it from the knees, again, trying to get that chest all the way to the ground to push up, or again, coming up on your toes all the way to the ground and up. If you can't get all the way to the ground, use your yoga blocks to get your chest to come down and then work on that range of motion a little bit more and do your proper progression that way, okay? Now your next one, your lateral walks with the band. So using your band here, right, depending on the color you enjoy, right above the knees. I prefer to have them above the knees and not necessarily on the tip here, so you really get to work on your abductions to really push out here. So when you're coming in and you're doing your walk, you would walk out a little bit further. I just don't want to get out of the camera angle, so I'm going to do a couple of steps out. So when you're coming out, I don't want you to come in all the way in. Keep that flexion on, right? Keep that stress on the body. So you're going out and in. Slight little turn, just like that, right? Just like that. So that side view, I'm just anchored in here. If you're nice and tall, standing up top like that, you're not really going to get that much of a push out and get your glutes to fire up. So you want to make sure you're just in a slight bent over position here. and anchored in nice and tight, just like that. Okay? So that's your lateral walk. And your next two are your core exercises. Okay, so shoulder taps and bicycle kicks. So right back on your back, so supinated. Okay, make sure your back is nice and flat, engaged, and then your bicycle is just that nice rotation, trying not to do small turns, right? Nice rotation out. If you feel like you need a little bit more, again, you can put your hands right back. You have some weight too, right? In your hands, coming up, create some support, get your intercostals to work with you at the same time, just like that. Okay, those are your bicycles. And then your shoulder taps, you're right up top. You can be on your knees if you need it, that's fine, no problem there. Just make sure you're nice and solid on your core, right? And your shoulder taps are coming in, and you're just tapping your shoulders just like that. Trying not to rock side to side and get that momentum, right? Try to stay as solid as you can to get your shoulder taps. Okay? That's it for round number 3. So hopefully you enjoyed it. And again, if you have any questions,